So I was waiting for this dummy leak because we already had a dummy leak like this, which is made out of aluminum for the case manufacturers, and that clearly states the dimensions and the slightly more rounded corners compared to the S24 Ultra in terms of design differences. But that's totally it. That doesn't show anything other than that. The slimness is something that reveals that. And that we also know from the dimension itself. For example, the S25 Ultra is going to be 162.82 mm tall, 77.65 mm wide, and 8.25 mm thick. Now that if you compare with the S24 Ultra, then S24 Ultra is quite a thick boy. And that clearly doesn't mean that it has more screen real estate, but the slightly rounded frame and also the flatter screen takes up quite a lot of space, which is reduced in this phone to give it much more higher screen to body ratio while still retaining almost the same screen size with the same exact dimensions of the screen. Even if you look at this phantom black-ish kind of color variant of the dummy, it clearly states the same thing, the same rounded corners, but not as rounded as the S24 Plus or upcoming S25 Plus. Now there is also a whitish variant, we can see it from here, that gives you a good idea of what the phone will look like in your hand. So, and yeah, by the way, the camera island design is gonna stay the same as the S22 Ultra, which is kind of disappointing to me because I thought they would change it, but because they haven't changed the camera sensors drastically, they don't really need to do too many things. And this design has been in the Samsung's world for a very long time, so it's kind of a known Samsung design aesthetic. But the only thing that is changed is the camera rings that looks very similar to what the Galaxy Z Fold 6 offers compared to Z Fold 5 in this phone. Yes, there is a camera change as well. We were hoping that there would be a change in the 3x department. They would probably remove that, or maybe they will introduce a 50 megapixel 3x camera because there were rumors as such. But nowadays, it's almost clear that Samsung has scrapped the idea on that prototype and moved on to something that is very conventional, the 10 megapixel 3x camera again. So this is literally the same camera setup as the S21 Ultra. Alongside the newer 5x zoom camera with the 50 megapixel one from the S24 Ultra, there is also going to be an ultra wide angle camera that is a 50 megapixel one. So the ultra wide angle photos, the videos are going to be way more sharper with much better aperture. They will also be brighter in day-to-day life, or even in low light scenarios will be much less grainy. But that's totally it. So maybe Samsung is waiting for the S26 Ultra to be that one device that will change this camera housing design or the camera sensors drastically. But that would be another thing for another day, because the S25 Slim is also coming, but it will be test design for the S26 Ultra's upcoming design changes. So that could simply mean the S26 Ultra could be way more slimmer, will have a different camera layout, will have a different camera housing design, so many things. But that's the S25 Slim will clear that. So that's totally it for this video.
And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website, a link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.